I believe this day I was actually 263. If I remember, I stepped on the scale when we got there. And I topped off this year just under 275. I was about 273, 274 around Memorial Day when I started dieting. So right now I finally broke the 225 plateau. I'd like to get down a few more pounds so I can, comfortably make my weight class as heavyweight, not have to worry about, starving myself for the weigh-in, which I don't think will be a problem. And I don't know, Dave, you just saw me on Friday night, so you got a pretty good judgment of what I'm looking like a week out. I'm pretty confident. There's definitely, I already think that I'm leaner now than I was on stage last year, to be honest with you. And I think I have a much better practice. My whole physique, not just my legs, is improved this year. So hopefully I can keep improving each day until the show, and then it's up to the judges after that.
Well, seeing that I helped both of you with your diet, I have to say both of you are right where you need to be, and I think you'll be peaked out right on stage. Ben, give me an idea of what you guys are doing now. I know you said your strategy for leg training, I'm assuming PJ's following your strategy for this workout, is heavy weight with the squats, good form, and then go to high reps with the leg press. Is that what you're doing here?
What I'm doing here, if you notice, I'm trying to go relatively deep. I mean, my calves are pretty much coming in contact with my hamstrings there, and it's a constant tension. It's not about pausing at the top. I'm still getting a really good squeeze, a peak contraction of my quads at the top, but it's a constant tension, just never allowing that muscle to relax. I mean, our oxygen capacity at this point probably isn't all that great, but it's attempt to do constant tension. We're doing sets of 20, working our way up to about 12 plates a side is what we maxed out at here. I think, I don't know if we both ended up getting to that weight, but sets of 20, until we get to a set of 12 plates a side, and I think we both got about 15 to 20 reps. I think PJ's trying to do the same thing, trying to get nice and deep. I'm really trying to make him focus on getting that constant tension, getting great rep speed, and focus on squeezing those quads there, and just giving him a little encouragement, squeezing his foot. I find it really seals the system. Squeezing somebody's foot tends to get them a little more fired up for that workout. Just let them know you're there, spot and they're safe. Nothing's gonna happen to them. So.
Right. Well, people don't realize Cold's Gym doesn't have air conditioning, so it can get kind of stuffy and hot in there. I remember a couple crazy training days. That's why I think no one squats there, to tell you the truth, because it's too hot.
I love training in a hot gym like that, though. I'd rather be somewhere where it's hot and you're sweaty. I feel like my joints always feel better than somewhere where it's cold and you got to warm up more.
It seems to become a bit of a fashion show, and everybody's in there in their pretty workout gear, and everybody still trains hard, but everybody's worried about who's looking and who's watching and who's doing a photo shoot beside them. So, as opposed to guys just going in there, going balls to the wall, hardcore, not too much.
Now I know PJ was out in California for I think 2 weeks. But Ben, how long were you out in the LA area, and how do you think that helps your training?
4 or 5 months. You know what? I mean, being in Canada, we get about the same weather as New York in the wintertime, and it's cold, man. Your joints get tight. It takes a good 45 minutes to warm up to your maximal weights in any body part you're doing, and by that point, your workout should be done. So, I mean, living down in LA, actually, particularly Palm Springs as well, I spent a lot of time between both of the places. Just that warm air. People are in better shape, motivates you to train harder. The warm air tend to do wonders for my joints. One of the reasons my arms have been weak in the past is that I had an elbow problem. I had an elbow tendonitis. And I think it's just from living in cold weather, man. Living down there for the winter time and here in the summertime now, my elbow's great. I'm lifting great heavy weights, probably 25 to 30% increase on my strength in my chest and my triceps. So those body parts have really responded, and I mean, I contribute that basically to living down in LA. So, it's been a wonderful thing for me, and I plan to do it again this year. So,
well, let me ask you a question now, PJ. As long as I've known you, even when I used to run into you, I think I first met you at a couple local New York shows. They saw you down at the Junior USA when your girlfriend competed down there. You've always been known for those arms and shoulders and chest. You see PJ walking around in a tank top. You can spot him a mile away. Has that always been a good body? Have those always been good body parts for you, and did they always come easy in terms of growth?
My chest and my arms were always good. I had actually really pathetic shoulders when I was back in my powerlifting days. The other guys used to say it looked like my shoulders fell off and ended up in my arms, but I just prioritized them a lot over the years. I think once I got out of powerlifting and I started focusing a lot more on incline movements, I think my whole upper body just really grew a lot more. But my arms, even in high school, when I was training in high school, were already pretty big. And they've grown relatively fast. I mean, I really only train them hard about once a month. The rest of the time, I try to just do more isolation exercises and supersets and stuff just to bring out the detail.
Let me ask you a question, Ben, since I just saw a little glimpse of your legs there. How big do your legs get up to in the off season?
I'm not a big measuring kind of guy. That day, actually, Bill Comstock busted out the measuring tape, and PJ and I got a little chuckle, and he wanted to wrap him up. I got up to, I think I was just over 32 on that day for my quads and my calves. Usually, I maxed out about 23 off season, maybe 20, just under 22 on stage.
So you can?
Yeah, so.
That's pretty big. That's
Yeah,
bigger than most guys' weight.
I'm over 30 inches in my quads, and my calves, like I say, just under 22 probably.
Now, PJ, let's talk about your arms, since, if I'm going to ask Ben about his strength, how big do your arms measure?
You know what? Yeah, I don't even measure my arms, but actually Ed measured them out there, and, Ed measured more arms than I think anybody in the history of the sport. And they were a cold, official 22 inches, and that's a cold measurement, no bullshit. You can ask Ed, and you can bring it to measure up to me if you want.
That one.
Yeah, so I'm sure they're probably around that size still, because I definitely, gained some size since then, and I never really lose any size in my arms when I diet, but